Hey guys, welcome back. So glad you could stop by again. Welcome to Taco Tuesdays. My name is Vicki-Lynne and this is Cooking Vegan with Vicki. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the bottom and then scooch over a little bit where that little bell icon is. Make sure you hit that and knock up to the always button so you always get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you're back because you're one of my repeat people, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Today on Taco Tuesday, we are doing carnitas, but we're not hurting any little piggies on these carnitas. We're doing jackfruit carnitas. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a can of jackfruit. So let's get going to our mise en place, which is getting everything ready so that we can cook. Okay? So the first thing we're going to start with is jackfruit. So jackfruit comes in a can, and we want the young jackfruit. So the ripe jackfruit is very sweet. We don't want that. We want the jackfruit that's either in brine or in water. And if you get the stuff in brine, which I got at Trader Joe's, you're going to rinse it very well. And you're going to want to squeeze out all the water, which I've done just in a tea towel, because we want it to be dry. So I just have it dry, and we're gonna use that when we get over to our cooking at the stove. And this is a very simple recipe, only has a few basic ingredients. We have some simple chili powder, cumin, smoked paprika, some salt, and some Mexican oregano. If you don't have the Mexican oregano, you're okay with just regular oregano. It just imparts a little bit of a different flavor. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our vegetables ready. So we're going to need about a half a red onion. So the best way to start with your red onion is you have two ends. You have one they call like a hairy end, and then you have a regular end. So you're going to cut off the regular end, and you just peel that off. You always want to leave the hairy end. That makes it easier. Then you cut it in half, so you cut through the hairy end. Just move that aside. And then this makes it easier to hold everything in place. You peel off the first layer. That way everything stays in place, and it makes it much easier to chop. Again, everything off your board. And now all you're going to do is slice down. And you're not going to cut all the way to the end because you want to keep everything intact. Now, if your onion's bigger, you can slice through the middle. Again, be careful. If you have a little chopper, use a chopper. You don't like chopping onions, get your food processor out, chop up a whole bunch of onions, put them in a jar for the week, have them all done. I don't mind chopping onions. Okay, so we're going to put those aside, put them on my plate. We're also going to do some chopped garlic. So I already chopped 3. I'm just doing 1 for demonstration. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the back of your handle. You've peeled your garlic. You're just going to slam it down. You want to crush it. And then you're just going to chop lengthwise first, and then you're going to want to chop this way. Now, if you don't like chopping garlic, a lot of people just use the jarred garlic. You know I do sometimes. And a lot of times people don't like chopping their own garlic because of the smell. And if you have a good knife or anything that is stainless steel, all you need to do is run under cold water. Just run your hands over a stainless steel spoon or either a knife, and it will actually get rid of the smell of garlic off your fingers or your hands. So, you know me and my fun facts. All right, so we have our garlic all done. And again, these Taco Tuesdays are great. Come home after a long day at work, and supper gets together very quickly. So we're going to use about a half of a jalapeno, just depending on how big your jalapeno is. This one was quite big. I'm actually going to take out the majority of the seeds and the ribs, because I'm a baby and I don't like it really hot. I'll leave some of it in. All right. And again, we're just going to dice this finely. And also be careful with the jalapeno because the juices do fly. And I have had jalapeno juice in my eyes before. No bueno. No fun. So, I know we've talked about how authentic tacos are supposed to be eaten, but you know, you have to do what you like. And really, there's really nothing wrong with putting lettuce and tomato or cheese on your tacos if that's what you want. I mean, you're bumping up your veggie consumption for the day. So leave me a comment below what you like on your tacos or what you put on your burritos. Tell me what kind of interesting things you like putting in your tacos, because I'd love to hear what you guys put in yours. My husband's Mexican, so we like to keep it authentic for the most part. So, but I'd love to hear what you're doing. So I think we have everything. We're going to head over to the stove and get these tacos going. Okay, now that we have all of our ingredients ready, we're ready to get going. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of water in my frying pan. If you wanted to use oil, you could use a little bit of olive oil. So we're going to put our onions, our jalapeno, and our garlic. And we do want to sweat these out a little bit, soften them. We just want to soften these down for about 4 or 5 minutes. Take the rawness out of them before we put our jackfruit in. And again, we're just going to cook that down. Okay, so that's all getting all cooked down. We're going to add our jackfruit in. So as you can see, it's nice and dry. We're just going to break it apart. And sometimes there's little seeds in there. Just break those apart too. You just want to give it like a pulled pork kind of texture, consistency. One of those little seeds. They're usually pretty tender. We just kind of want to dry it out some more. We'll get that all pulled out. And that way, once it's dried out a little bit, we're going to add our soy sauce to this part. Let that absorb, and then we'll add our spices, so it really has. So I'm using water. Again, you could use olive oil if that's what you use. I try to watch my oil intake. So if you find your pan is getting a little dry, just add a little more water for now. Because again, we're going to get it absorbed. We just don't want anything burning. Okay. And of course, depending on the size of your family, you may need 2 cans of jackfruit. You'll probably have some leftovers. Do have a great video coming up with what you can do with all your leftovers. There's so many options. There we go. So now that's okay. So to that, we're going to add our 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. If you're gluten-free, of course, use tamari, which is basically a gluten-free version. Just going to add the soy sauce. See, super simple. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. And again, you want just to absorb. You don't want it to burn. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. Make sure everything cooks through. So really the jackfruit doesn't need a lot of cooking. It just needs time to absorb. Add just a little bit of water. Give it a few more minutes to all right. I'll right, now we're going to add our spices in. So we have our cumin, smoked paprika, our salt, our oregano, and chili powder. And now this is where you really want to make sure you get it all mixed in nice. And you want to cook those spices. Make sure you get them nicely mixed. Oh, I wish you had smell-o-vision right now. And again, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Share it with a friend. There's also a playlist down below, guys, with all of Taco Tuesdays. My cauliflower tacos. I have so many more taco recipes coming. There we go. And again, you just want to cook these nice on low now. Just let all those spices cook and impart their flavors. Ooh! Going everywhere. There we go. I'm just going to take a fork. There's a couple of pieces that just need to be broken down a little bit. Again, you want it more like the pulled pork texture. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put our other burner on. We're going to let this just simmer a little bit. We'll keep warm. We'll get a couple of tacos going, or tortillas. So super easy, super simple. Sometimes I pull out the griddle, sometimes just do them in a frying pan. Again, if you have a gas stove, you're so super lucky because they're so much better on a gas stove. We're just going to do 2, just for now. We're going to warm that up. And again, just working your taco meat. And check your flavorings, as always. So I'm just going to see if it needs any salt or anything. I don't think it needs any salt. Good. I know my husband's going to say it needs to be hotter, but no, that's really good. I like that. We're going to put Pico De Gallo on ours today, some cilantro and radish. We're going to keep it simple today. And again, you can do salsa on it. You can do some taco sauce. Put on what you like on yours. I'm going to turn this off now because it's nice. It's just perfect. And we're just going to wait for our taco shells. Okay, so our tortillas are toasted up. Just going to put a couple together for you. And again, we have our pulled carnitas. I'm going to put a little bit in our bowl. I'm going to top mine off with some hot Pico De Gallo. So that's going to add some great freshness to this. I love my cilantro, so you know the cilantro is going in here. Again, if you don't like cilantro, leave it off. Again, put some lettuce, tomatoes on here. I'm going to do some great, I love the radishes. They add a great crunch to it. Look, I've made it so big it won't fit in my taco holder. And then one for my handsome husband. And I know he likes his hot Pico De Gallo too. I think I'll do the cilantro on the bottom. And radishes. My pictures aren't always Instagram worthy, but they are delicious. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Taco Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.